Hello, my beautiful people. I've missed you guys. I was so busy, but I've been thinking a lot about the Jay Slater case, like in the overall big picture. And we got to talk about it. So, this, I caught it. I caught it before it went off. This is an interactive live, and I have a live audience, and I'm going to be involving them in an open discussion about Jay Slater, as well as leave your comments down below. It helps me to understand what you guys feel and what are your theories. Let me know down below. All right, you guys, let's get cozy. Get a blanket. I've got my duck blanket. Get yourself something to drink and settle in for a few minutes. The whole thing about finding out that Roman in MASCA, the ex-mayor that was disgraced because he was falsifying properties and all this, is now being found out to have been falsifying Airbnbs, basically as a way to clean up money, allegedly, right? So in that big part of it, when you realize that you've got allegedly, through the whole video that I'm doing here, the whole live, you've got Rocky, who's an ex-convict, you've got Ab, who's an ex-convict, both are in their mid-30s. You have a property that is owned by a falsifying landlord. He's saying he's got rentals and he's got Airbnbs, but it don't appear he got none. So we got Ahab thanking him and his Alba, the cleaner, for being good to him. The only review. No other customers ever left a review. So it tells us a lot about, like, somebody asked me in the comments, they were like, but why would they have went through the issue or effort to paint the Airbnb after Jay went missing if it wasn't an Airbnb? And I'm like, well, when it turned out, right, that Jay went missing from that location, it all boiled down to that being the place Jay was. So if the police arrive and they open the door and it's a money laundering, nothing but cobwebs in the corners and Ophelia's face it. OMG, this is why we do lives. All right, let's back this up. If we go to the tea hut, everything that you see there that's bizarre, like it looks like a little camera, the box does, the PG tips, the scarves, the hats, the linen, it all fits into Ophelia's little shop. But I've always thought to myself, I betcha that's Ophelia's stuff, but why would she put it way out in the middle of some little encampment? Like, okay, I need more PG tip tea for the cafe, so I'll go off to this little hut, and it'll take me a while to get there, and if I go too far, I'll fall off a 500-foot cliff. All right, so that didn't work. But right beside the cafe, not next to it, but right close by it, is the Airbnb. And it's got the same green door as Ophelia's shop. What if everything that we're seeing from the stove, because who the hell's going to be cooking out there, right? And what are they cooking? I mean, that either gas or electric is a stove. Okay, fine. Maybe that's gas and they can get something. The television. Where are you getting electric in that little shack? A generator? I didn't see one. So let's just quit playing games. Let's say all that crap was in storage already. Easy to get to because it was a place of nothing but a storage room. But all of a sudden, something went down. and they needed to make it a place where a missing person was seen last. And they called it an Airbnb and said, oh, we'll just say it's 40 pounds a night. What? And we have no name released as to who rented it. He just, Ahab didn't rent it in his own name. Hell, Rocky wasn't even there. He was in the car the whole time, right? So if Roman is known and established and discredited for falsifying all kinds of properties to be something they aren't, he's a con artist. And a con artist is exactly who you'd get to do your dirty work of falsifying a fake proof of life, right? Type thing. So sure, you can use this. This is our little front. But now the LE are coming because this has become way bigger than anybody could have dreamed. And unlike the other billion people that disappear in Tenerife, this one's got some traction and hitting worldwide news, and it could affect our tourism. So we better actually put some effort into making this look like an Airbnb before the, La Policia arrive. Or probably El Policia. Okay? So, if we're right, Jackson's dreaming. Can you hear him? Sounds like he's trying to bark in his sleep. He's like, if we're right, it blows everything Mark Williams told us about MASCA, everything that Chris Tenerife told us about MASCA, everything that we know about MASCA. There would be no Airbnb. There's no reason for Jay to go there. We never bought the stories anyway. Why would a 19-year-old young lad leave his friends that he is on the same level with to go hang out with 34-year-old men up there unless there's something to gain? When it comes down to MASCA, the only thing that really sticks with me is that the Marabou boat went off transponder after it left the area near the, well, it's near the Juan Lopez Beach. And allegedly, according to the Sun newspaper, which then redacted it, that's where Jay's phone is found. And the problem with me trying to figure out if they have Jay's phone, because nobody's come out and said, we have Jay Slater's phone. They've said, well, I wish he had taken more photographs. Could have got that off the cloud, so I'm not sure. But let's just hypothetically say Debbie's got the phone. Where was it found? We're this far into the case and nobody knows. Nobody knows where the phone actually was located. So was it really on the Juan Lopez Beach? Because if it's on the Juan Lopez Beach, then that's where the phone went. You feel me? That's the whole trip to MASCA. And that means that the interview with Ahab is going to be because somebody tracked Jay's phone up with him to that area. And somehow that phone landed on the beach. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this whole concept that if MASCA isn't an Airbnb, if Roman, and why wouldn't he fake it? He faked all this other shit. And who's gonna... No hot waters? No air conditioning? Really? That's to get people not to rent it. Who's gonna sign up for it if you put it out there on an ad? We don't have hot water or air conditioning. Oh, I know. It's only $40 a night. Well, who are you going to get that's going to trust that? If you've got more than, $80 in your pocket and you're going to stay somewhere, you're going to look for a place that's at least going to make sense with the price. So everything about it is don't come book this. Can you book it? No. Where are all the lists of the guests before that? Where are all the reviews? It doesn't exist because the Airbnb didn't exist. And so it cracks the full effing narrative that Jay went to MASCA, that Jay stayed there for an hour and a half, that Ophelia ever saw him. It cracks the narrative that Jay walked off the effing cliff. Period. So let's quit effing around. I'm sick of this effing around trying to find this little person lying and that little person lying. Oh, caught him on this. No. They're all lying. Lucy, lying. I knew where it was because of the pretty flowers in the picture. I've got the dog riled up, y'all. That's from me yelling. And somebody's going to be like, quit screaming. I can't help it. This is out of... It needs to be a full investigation. We demand. Now, I'm not from UK, so I can't do it, but as a human being, I demand an investigation into the Jay Slater case, fully into the Airbnb itself. Why were they given weeks to upgrade it? From what I believe to be everything that was in the little tea hut was stored in there for easy access for Ophelia to get. There's just no way that was Airbnb that anybody was going to stay at. It would have been tagged off the Airbnb list by the first 3 people that showed up and said, there's no air conditioning and no hot water. But instead, they put it in print and put $5 and you can buy the Brooklyn Bridge, knowing that everybody's going to be like, yeah. But yet, it's squeaky clean enough that since nobody stays there, it doesn't get negative press and slides through on the radar. Meanwhile, what is the business? Well, there's usually 3 things in every business. There's usually 3 ways of making money. Nobody goes into a business and puts all their eggs in one basket. So we've got rugs. We know that goes on. I mean, Tenerife was, Veronica Strip was littered with rug garbage. Literally. Okay, so rugs. You get all these buyers buying these watches, Rolexes, APs, you name it. No box. Why ain't it got a box? Well, it's not new. Yeah, but that's something that costs like $30,000 or pounds or euros, whatever. You didn't save the box so that you could have the true value of it? I saved the box for my TV for the first year. You didn't save the box? No. Why? Oh, okay, Tenerife's a pickpocketing heaven. And they've got to have a pawn shop running in the back. You bring it in, and there's your payout. And now they can take it to their high-end customer that's visiting Tenerife to do the rave, pump it up, pump up the jam, right? So look at the slick little conveyor belt of how well that works with jewelry. We got the Pink Panther, we got a missing watch, we got everybody bling, bling, bling. They got diamond-encrusted teeth. They're wearing giant plaques with chains on there. Whatever. That's their deal. But it creates a lot of victims. And then, now, you've got a ton of effing money you want to be able to spend on a car and real property that you want to go stay at, but you can't. Because how'd you get that money? Ophelia. La Cafe. Mucho dinero. Wash it, baby, wash it. Ophelia is the cleaner. Her daughter's the cleaner. The Airbnbs that they run. The little, tea shop that she can just put her hand up to family and close the little shutters. Doesn't show up for work till when she feels like it. Because it's just got to look like a name out there. And then the third way. And the third way is the most horrific. And that is when the victims know too much, get too deep, want out of the system. They're the ones that end up with no hands, right? And a plastic bag over their head. Burnt in a tunnel. Thrown at the bottom of a ravine. So, who all are the little liars? They all are. And they're not all friends. See what I'm saying? Like Brad ain't hanging out with Ab anytime. Like there's nothing. But yet he's hanging out with Lucy. Lucy ain't hanging out with Ab, but Ab's protecting Lucy. Don't bother Lucy. She's a good mate. She's really outside UK. I mean, she's really outside UK. Well, I found out what really outside UK actually is. It's Potter. His whole entourage. It's the other band that is really outside UK. They have a giant, I showed you, a giant tour bus. They got Potter Krispies. They got PP tips instead of P tips or whatever. PG tips. It's the entourage. So, Ab is saying, Lucy's one of ours. Don't mess with her. I know her through a friend. You know her through a connection. This is all work related. And who's running things? You're going to have your different areas bringing it in. You're going to have your people that are Irish, right? They have their little whatever going to Tenerife and bringing in and taking out. You're going to have your UK and London people over here, back and forth, and Lancashire and all of them, back and forth. Because this is where the transactions are happening. We've heard huge government officials that are equivalent to the DEA in America, in the United States, big people that say if you are an Italian mafia or you are cartel, you will stop at this place. It's like part of what you have to do. And they know that. So if you looked at it, it's the port. Everything coming in and everything going out. And meanwhile, it's got this like overlayer of niceness, of beauty, and da-da-da-da-da, and it's perfect, and it's a great place to vacation, and da-da-da. No, that's not what it's for. If you're going there for the sunshine and the beach, great. But that is not what that island is about. They are about trade. It's not really about tourists. I believe the tourist is a front. Yes, that's the cornerstone of their entire thing, because if they don't have the tourists, they don't have the pocket. They don't have the money that they're picking off of them for the fake fines. For you pay me now and you won't have to go through any of our stuff. Our system. We'll just say that you shouldn't spit on the street. Thanks for the $50. All right? They would lose the whole, look at this watch I got off that CUNT. They would lose the buyer that's partaking of all the rugs, right? So basically, if you were to take out of the King James version of the Bible and create Babylon, you basically have Tenerife. It's the perfect trap. It's the tourist trap where you may get out and you may not. And they don't care. They don't give a fuck. They really don't. They don't care if you come over and you have a demise. What they care is if somebody else knows about it, because then it's going to put a cog in the system. So it don't matter how that person expires. You're not going to find out their identity, most likely, and you're sure the hell not going to find out what really happened to them. They're just burnt in a tunnel. Say no more. Look away. Look over there. There's a rave going on. Lots of rugs. Party on, Garth. Party on, Brooke. Oh, whatever. Okay. I had to get out of my system. Like I'm really ticked off that we're supposed to go at this Jay Slater case with kid gloves when he never went to MASCA in the first place. And it changes everything. There is no MASCA. The only thing that happened in MASCA is his damn phone went to the Juan Lopez beach. That's it. We've got the kids screaming. You gotta go get my boy Quack Quack. You got OJ. Okay. Right there's the boat dog. Who knows what boat? Doesn't even have to be the Marabou. Marabou may have been the distraction to just go over there and whip. Nobody had to even really go up to the Airbnb except to grab a... That's it. 2 snapshots. Pfft. Phone out on the Lopez Beach. I'm just saying. And if the phone wasn't found there, where was it found? That's pretty fun. Why do we not even know that? What is the holy secret of the grail behind where Jay's phone was? I'm trying so hard to contain my rage. It's absolute rage. Because I really look at this. And there's no excuse for this bullshit that's going on. A 19-year-old boy was removed from a club and allegedly taken by 2 men in their 35s to a disgraced mayor that fakes properties to laundry money, and the kid allegedly was found at the bottom of a 500-foot cliff, and we're supposed to just eat our cereal in the morning and go on with our day. And that's all okay. Nothing wrong here, nothing to look at. In fact, those of you that are working on it have probably been trolled, threatened. So how dare those of us seeking justice and truth for Jay not swallow that blue pill and just go on with our day like the sheeple that want to just, oh well, that's so sad, right? He should have looked where he was going. Maybe if he had better shoes on, or if maybe he should have had a stick. If he would have had a stick, he could have been like poking the ground. That's the only kind of date Chris Tenerife is ever going to get. Is somebody that damn stupid. You got Luggy, who's obsessed with boats. Obsessed with the Jay Slater case. You got Chris TENERIFE. 2 weeks into trying to find Jay, he shows up. He's like, yeah, well, we just need to get him found so we can lay him to rest and give his family some peace. So you knew he was dead. And don't say you didn't. You knew, because you guaranteed it. You guaranteed, Chris, that we would find a bag of bones at the bottom of a ravine. Well before it happened. Guaranteed it. So you knew he was dead. So why put the world through this showboat? Why put us through this whole fake BS? Because if you're dumb enough at this point to go to Tenerife, knowing all that you know, then go ahead, accept the narrative. He just walked off. Go ahead. Hopefully you won't end up with no hands. Hopefully you won't end up just in a tunnel burnt up. It's all about what is running behind the scenes. And that's the people trafficking, rug trafficking, and jewelry trafficking. 3 parts to the business. And you're going to have 3 heads to that business. And they're all going to work together. You're going to have the jewelry head. You're going to have the rug head of the business. And you're going to have the people. Coming up to top side to put chat on the board. I think I'm going to be okay now. Just can't carry rage around inside me. I have to vent. MASCA never effing happened. The phone went to MASCA. That's it. The phone. The person that took the snapshot arrived in a white car, stood where they allegedly were told to stand, most likely, in front of Ophelia's storage unit by the cafe. Right? No doorbell on it. But he was buzzed to wake up. No. That was to explain the car out front. We never heard about the car out front and Ab being woke up until after we saw the footage of a car. And then Ab came up with, oh, yeah, that was somebody had to move my car. Had to move my car. They rang the buzzer. There's no buzzer, and no, you didn't. That 7:10 to 7:15 to 7:30 little car, that white car, that was parked in the middle of the way so that the trashing couldn't even get through. The trash pickup on Monday could not get through. You were told to move that car because you guys weren't supposed to be there. You didn't even have a parking place. You were just grabbing a snapshot. Just click. All right. Now let's go down here and get another click. And now let's go down here and the phone. And let's go. And that's it. That's all that happened at MASCA. So everything in that little hut that you're seeing, I want you to go back and I want you to watch that video. And maybe we'll do it tomorrow. I want you to think about Ophelia's cafe, the scarves, the hats, and then go look at her cafe. Same shit. But she isn't going to store her stuff way out there in that little tea hut. You saw Warren. He was like, what is this? How do you even get to that? It looks staged, right? Well, you're not going to want to put your clean hat and scarf and all that you're going to sell on some dusty shit. So you're going to be like, well, put it here in the middle where nothing can get on it. So they probably had that stove. I mean, look at this stuff. It's not even dusty. There's white, fresh linens there. That looks like one of the most dusty places there is. It's all dirt. It's a mountain, but fresh white linens. What? No, that is from storage. They had to move it out of what was allegedly the Airbnb that Jay allegedly stayed at. So, if the blanket couldn't come from a non-existent Airbnb, does it make sense that it was brought with them for the scent of Jay? The phone and the blanket. Well, we know Lucy's apartment's on the beach, basically. You go out the door and you're on the Las Cristianas beach, and that is the OJ footage. So, these people are not all friends. Ahab is not friends with Brad, I'm sorry. He seems to have leverage over Brandon. He's defending Lucy. Lucy doesn't know him. Brad never talks about Ahab. Calls him two guys, right? To his mom. Never hear from Brandon, so we don't know. It sounds like a working arrangement. Sounds to me like Lucy's part of that working arrangement. Sounds to me like she's a recruiter. She's the honey trap. Now, how do they work? Well, they set you up with a debt. And you have to work that debt off. And then you're permanently one of them. So, where do we go from here? Paula says the British police have definitely silenced those individuals. That's true. Ocean Deep 24 said, step away. Christine says, Abe is connected to Potter. Potter Cafe was robbed, watch supposedly stolen. Jay supposed to have a watch to sell. Different time frames. However, there is a theory out there that the watch that got stolen back in March, I believe it was March of 2024, could be wrong on the date, when Potter's Cafe got robbed, is that that watch had to disappear because it was an inside job for insurance scam. Like they robbed themselves, like set up so that they would get the insurance money. I don't know if I buy that. I'm not sure how much insurance you're going to have for a weed shop. Would you? I don't know. I am in better health. Thank Oliver. Thank you. Kathleen says, I think going back to the beginning and having every timeline, like having them write down when and where and what said, then separate one for what we think. Kathleen, we can't even get them to do it the first time. How are we going to go back to something we don't have? We have no timeline. We have zero timeline. From Ahab, the only time he's ever mentioned that I'm aware of is 6:30 in the morning. Is when he estimates that he got at the Airbnb. You know, I'll work on it. I'll do my best. MCB42, thank you kindly for that snooper chat. Thank you very, very much. I greatly appreciate that. I hope I didn't miss anybody. When I get on a rant because I'm upset, oh, you did it twice. Well, bless your heart. Thank you. Thank you for both snooper chats. Let me mark them for you. Thank you. That is so generous and kind. I greatly appreciate you. I just get so... I'm just checking to see if I missed anything like that. I don't want to do that. Kentish. Tina, I did miss something off chat. To watch TV, I'll leave you this. Aw, thank you. Very kind, Kentish. Thank you. Hi to you and your son. So let's really look at this. If MASCA didn't happen, we now just had the case split. We no longer have the whole Chris Tenerife even matter. You realize that? Like, Chris Tenerife doesn't matter anymore because MASCA was never the Airbnb. Roman is a fraud, a con artist. That's his thing. The only thing, they just snag a picture in front of a building and called it something back there and said that's where Jay, was. We never understood any of the Airbnb thing. There was never making any sense about going back to party when everybody went to bed. No. It didn't work. So Rocky, if he was there, never left the car. He was probably the driver. Christine says, finally caught alive. Thank you for my membership. Thank you, lovely, and welcome to our beautiful Starlights. Real quick, just want to throw this out there for you beautiful members. My Starlights support this channel incredibly. They basically they turn green, right? That's it. They get green and a couple shout outs. But we are going to do a little Christmas special for our Starlights. So I bought the dogs, Lucky and Jack, a Christmas present. And it's another dog, but it's fake. And its tail wags, it barks, it jumps, and it's the same size as the neighbor's dog. And it looks a lot like the neighbor's dog. They have a little tiny dog. Anyway, I bought it for the boys for Christmas. They've never seen anything like it. So I'm going to do like a 5-minute little short video of it and upload that for us for Christmas over on the Starlights. So, but, just want to let you know. And says, hey, people, everyone involved with what happened to Jay wouldn't know the truth if it was at the end of their nose. They know the truth. They wouldn't share it. They know the truth. They very clearly know the truth. They won't share it. Hey, Jodine. Thank you, lovely, for that snooper chat. You guys are so generous. Jodine, I love the little fox and the hearts. Thank you. Kindly appreciate you. Shona says, I don't believe Jay was ever in MASCA. And I also don't believe that was a proper Airbnb, but I believe it was used as a stash house, narco headquarters, dodgy. And I want to do a special shout out to Duncan Smith, because he's the one that did the work that proved Roman is literally faking Airbnbs. And he's in the battle for it. Duncan's doing everything he can on the legality paperwork side to get the international Airbnb. Don't quote me, but I think that they're a facility or a overseer or something. He's working with them. Go watch Duncan Smith. Go watch him. He's doing the work. And it proves that Airbnb was nothing. That never happened. Never happened. Jay never went to MASCA. So, Jay's at the club. And I think I have something that proves Jay left Papagayos and went somewhere. Now, I say proves. It's not really proof because I'm a YouTuber. And that would mean I have evidence and I don't. It would lead us to believe that it's highly probable that Jay Slater did leave Papagayos and go somewhere else much earlier in the night. So we will be covering that tomorrow. Thank you guys for letting me vent, getting it off my chest, out of my head. I feel 1,000 times lighter. I got I'm so pissed off because this is huge, huge that there is no MASCA in the Jay Slater case. That means Chris is an actor. Bye-bye, Chris. That means Leggy probably got Chris into this so that they could say that's where Jay was found, right? Wild. There's so much more we could talk about. But for now, I'm going to jump off here. And I want you to go back and we'll watch it tomorrow. We'll watch the Tea Hut again with new eyes as if all that could have come out of Ophelia's shop, right? Her storage that would be over in MASCA. That's starting to make a lot more sense. Aw, Cheryl Ferris, thank you, my lovely. Thank you kindly for the $20 snooper chat. You guys are very kind. I will see you again very soon. If you would like to deep dive a little further into this conversation where I bring you into the chat, Mama D's got her venting done, so I'll leave you some room to talk. Jump over with my second channel. There'll be a little thumbnail. You can take that magic carpet ride over. We'll be starting in about 15 minutes, so I hope you'll see me there. If you are continuing with me, jump over after this. I love you very, very much, and thank you all kindly for watching and working for Jay. Bye for now.